Hey, another thing we need to do is get the lights on. Uh, you know how to do that, Bob? You just got to click all them light switches in there. I always click them all because I can't remember which one's which. There's one bank. I think they all do a separate bank. That's why you have to do them all. Yep. So Ben Dunkelberger taking his warm-ups. Had a nice top of the first inning. Did issue a 2-out walk, but he was able to get out of that. No damage done. Due up for the Stingers this inning will be catcher number 9, Brady Haggerty, pitcher number 10, Cole Anderson, and DH number 17, Mike Gatsky. If anybody would happen to get on base, Blake Gatsky would follow up. Stingers from Marion Center, PA, about a 40-minute drive from Marion Center to here? About that? About 45. So Haggerty steps in, left-handed hitter, catcher for the Stingers. Dunkelberger puts one at his knees, and Haggerty fouls it down the first base line. Dunkelberger works ahead in the count, 0-1. Third base coach for the Stingers, former Kiski biology teacher and baseball coach Gino Colella. Ball low for second pitch, and that evens the count at 1-1. So Haggerty steps back into the box. Dunkelberger delivers. Another foul, first base line. And that's 1-2 on the count. Dunkelberger working from the windup, gets his signs from Hahn, delivers. Line drive will get into right field. Solid hit for Haggerty. Past the second baseman, Zufall. Puts one on for the Stingers. Leadoff guy for the Stingers gets on base. Cole Anderson, pitcher for the Stingers, number 10, now up the bat. Collins, first baseman for the Cougars, holding Haggerty on. Dunkelberger delivers. Ball's low. And now it's 1-0. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us. And again, we apologize for joining in late. We just couldn't figure out the computer to get the stream going. Dunkelberger delivers low. And now it's 2-0 on the count. Mrs. Kinderman's here helping us again on the camera. Thank you, Mrs. Kinderman. Mr. E, our great athletic trainer, is here. There's a strike from Dunkelberger, 2-1. Mr. E's helping us on the scoreboard here. And we got Byron Miles, right? He's helping us on the PA tonight. Nice bunt by Anderson. Hahn scoops it up easily, quick as a cat, getting out of his stance, out of his crotch there. A crouch, I guess it would be called, right? He was pretty quick getting up out of there. That was pretty nice by Tyler Hahn. It's a nice play. I mean, bunt didn't really get too far away from him, but he was quick on it. Made that play easy. But the sacrifice bunt does advance Haggerty down to second base. Stinger's playing efficient baseball here. Strike by Dunkelberger, and he's working ahead in the count pretty much on every batter so far. It's 0-1. Max Provost also helping up here in the booth on the PA. You training Byron tonight? Oh yeah. All right. So they're doing the walk-up songs and the announcing on the PA. Oh, both Fosnaw boys. All right. It's 1-1 on the count. Dunkelberger delivers. Ball high on DH Mike Gatsky. And it's 2-1. Runner in scoring position for the Stingers is Haggerty. He had a leadoff single to right field. Ball down. 3-1. Advanced to second on a sacrifice by pitcher Cole Anderson. So here we are, top of the second. 1 out, 3-1 count on Gatsky, the DH for the Stingers. Dunkelberger's going to work from the stretch and get his signs from the catcher Hahn. There's the delivery. Ball up, and that's going to be a walk. And Gatsky's going to hustle down to first and put runners at first and second. Thank you, Coach O'Shea. I appreciate that drink. Oh, she'll take it. She loves water. She's sitting beside a hippo who really loves water. The hippo is myself. I'm not downing anybody but myself. Everybody out there in live stream land. I wouldn't make fun of anybody, but I am allowed to make fun of myself. So Donkelberger delivers a ball, and it's 1-0 on second baseman Blake Gatsky. Strike down the middle. Dunkelberger gets back 1-1 now on the count. Let's see if he can get a ground ball double play to get out of this inning. That would be sweet. There's the delivery. There's his ground ball, but it's going to be a slow grounder and can't be handled cleanly. And that error is going to make the bases loaded for number 9 hitter Ethan Wells. Number 27 playing left field for the Stingers. Dunkelberger got his ground ball. You'd like to see at least an out there. But Cougars make a little bit of an error, and it loads the bases. 1 out. Bases full of Stingers. Dunkelberger going to work from the stretch. Strike on the outside corner, and it's 1-0. High pop up, and that'll be infield fly rule. Batter will be automatically out. Big pitch by Dunkelberger there to get himself out of a jam. I mean, he's still got the bases loaded, but now there's 2 out. Makes it a little less do or die here, but leadoff hitter Troy Slavinsky, shortstop for the Stingers, up with the bases loaded. He did hit a pretty nice line drive in the first inning, but it was right at left fielder Logan Gates. So let's see if we can get him out and get out of this inning. Dunkelberger, strike down the middle, right at the knees. And once again, he's ahead in the count, 0-1. Dunkelberger is doing a good job of getting strike 1. There's the delivery. Line drive, deep shot over the head of the center fielder, Abreu, and that's going to clear the bases at least, and Slavinsky's going to dive into third with a 3-run triple. Long fly ball off the bat of Slavinsky, and he put a charge into that one, gives the Stingers a 3-0 lead here in the top of the second inning. Drew Runk, center fielder for the Stingers, number 13, now up the bat. Still runner 90 feet away in Slavinsky, who just unloaded on a pitch for a 3-run triple. High pop-up, and that's on the infield, and Zufall does make the catch. He made the catch, and it was dropped on. He dropped it on a transfer. He dropped it on a transfer. He caught the ball and then he was out. Yeah, he was out. He was out. He was out. But not until the Stingers take advantage of a situation that the Cougars put themselves in by making that error. And Troy Slavinsky made him pay with a big 3-run triple. Back in the day, if the fence was still up, that was a home run here. So, but the Cougars will be up to bat in the bottom of the second right after this short break. So, welcome back to John D. Andrini Field. Cougars coming up the bat at the bottom of the second inning, trailing 3-0. Brandon Abreu up to bat for the Cougars. Ball hits him on his arm, and that'll put a runner at first base for the Cougars. Leadoff guy gets on. The Cougars did a nice job of that in their last home game, getting the leadoff guy on and generating a lot of runs from that. Let's see if we can get something going here. Number 8, first baseman Wade Collins come up to the plate. He had a couple big hits last home game, bringing in some runs. Abreu, big lead over there. Anderson checks him, delivers a slow curveball, fielded by third baseman Trent Slavinsky. Feeds it to second baseman Blake Gatsky to get the lead runner. Ball was hit too slow for them to turn two, though. Collins hustling down the line first, but they do get the lead runner, and it's one out. Bringing up right fielder number 2, Parker Hanna. Hanna was on base 3 times last home game also. Collins running, throw down from Haggerty to Troy Slavinsky, and they got Collins easily by quite a few feet. So Brady Haggerty with a big throw to Troy Slavinsky, and that's 2 out for the Cougars. I didn't 0-1 on the count. 0-1 on the count. Okay. So 0-1 on the count. Curveball down from Anderson to Hanna. And now the count's even at 1-1. Poor Haggerty's taking beating. I messed up his name and called him Brad. Now everybody's, instead of Brady, Another hit by pitch. Hannah takes it off the knee, and he'll be at first base with 2 out. Where's the outs? Where's the outs? So 2 out in the bottom of the second. Left fielder Logan Gates, number 3, up to bat. Left-handed hitter. Anderson delivers. Ball up and away. And that's ball 1. Counts 1-0. Gates digs in. Sun still in his eyes. Anderson delivers another ball high, and it's 2-0. Hannah over at first being held on by Isaac Riha. First baseman for the Stingers. Got a nice hole for left-handed hitter Gates if he can pull it in the right field. There's the delivery, and that hits Gates in the back of the calf. That's the 3rd hit batter of the inning. I don't think any of them are intentional. He's just struggling with his control. And coach for the Stingers, Colella, is going to take a timeout and go out and talk to his pitcher, Anderson, try to settle him down. Cougars now have 2 guys on. Gates and Hannah. Gates at first, Hannah at second, both via the hit batsman. Abreu was hit by a pitch to start the inning, but he was caught stealing to race that runner. We have 2 out here. So, number 9 hitter for the Cougars, Ben Dunkelberger, will be up to bat after this timeout. Colella's talking to his whole infield. He's been out there for a while, so let's see if they can speed this up. What's up? So coach of the Stingers done with his timeout. Let's see if he can settle old Mr. Anderson down out there. 3 hits batters in the inning. And Dunkelberger up to bat for the Cougars. Ball high. Counts 1-0. I think the Cougars are going to break out here eventually against Anderson. You just got to wear him down a little bit. Anderson from the stretch. Play on again, but Hannah back easily. No slide required. Shortstop tried to sneak in the back door. Hannah was onto that and makes it back to the base easily. Still 1-0 count on Dunkelberger. Checks his swing and runs the count to 2-0. Anderson wanted that pitch, but it was high, and he definitely checked his swing. So Dunkelberger stands tight up into the box. He's on the inside line, and there's the pitch. Ball inside, and it's now 3-0. Dunkelberger doing a nice job of being patient, waiting for a strike. His toes are right on the inside of that chalk line. Big lead by Hannah out there. Heck, he was almost halfway to third base. But he retreats back, and ball was delivered down the middle for a strike. And it's 3-1 on the count. And there's the tried that play again. There's the pitch. And it's inside corner. Evens the count at 3-2. Dunkelberger backed out of the way, but it caught the inside corner. 3-2, 2 out. High fly ball. Center fielder Runk runs in and gets under it for the 3rd out of the inning. And Anderson's able to work out of a little bit of a jam. The Cougars go scoreless in the bottom of the second. Stingers will be up to bat in the 3rd inning with a 3-0 lead, and we'll be back right after this short break. Welcome back to John D. Andrini Field. Top of the third inning. Hitting for the Stingers, number 19, third baseman Trent Slavinsky. Dunkelberger started him off with the ball. There's a ground ball through the 5-6 hole. And Slavinsky on for the second time today. He walked in the first inning. So leadoff guy for the Stingers is on base. And that'll bring up number 12, the right fielder, Cam Rising. Dunkelberger's going to work from the stretch. Collins holding Slavinsky on over at first. Rising takes a ball in the dirt. I think it's a 2-1 on Rising. High fly ball deep in the right field. Right fielder Parker Hanna. Unless they made a switch out there, that might look like. Is that Hanna still? Is that number 2? Nice play by Hanna. Had to go about 20 feet to his left into the right center gap. Made a play there. So 1 out for the Stingers, and Brady Haggerty hit a sharp single to the right side his first time up. And he comes to bat and takes ball 1. Haggerty, catcher for the Stingers, threw out a base runner trying to steal in the bottom of the second. Squares around the bunt. Draws back, and the ball was right down the middle, and that evens the count 1-1. Runner at first base, Trent Slavinsky, led off the inning with a solid single to left field. And there's the pitch by Dunkelberger. Ground ball to second baseman. Zufall gets it to Strauss at first. Does a nice job of turning that. Haggerty hustling down the line to beat it out. So Cougars couldn't turn 2, but they did get the lead runner, Slavinsky, at second. And it's now 2 out in the inning. So Cole Anderson, pitcher for the Stingers, now up to bat. Haggerty over at first after grounding into a fielder's choice. Ball. And it's 1-0 on the count. Breaking ball from Dunkelberger. He evens in for a strike, and he evens the. Swings through there, and nice throw by Hahn to get the runner Haggerty trying to steal. And that'll be the 3rd out of the inning. So the Stingers come away with 0 runs. Did have 1 hit in the inning, but no runs. And they'll Cougars come up to bat here in the bottom of the 3rd right after this short break.
Welcome back to John D. Andrini Field. Leading off the bottom of the third for the Cougars, number 13, Tyler Hahn. Takes a pitch high from Cole Anderson, pitcher for Marion Center Stingers. Marion Center leading 3-0 on a 3-run triple by Troy Slavinsky. Ball down, and it's now 2-0. Hahn, the leadoff hitter for the Cougars, popped up in his first time at bat. Takes ball 3 high, and it's 3-0. 3 straight balls to start the inning from pitcher Cole Anderson. Let's see if Hahn can induce that walk, get a leadoff guy on for the Cougars. Takes a strike right down the middle, and it's now 3-1. Anderson working from the stretch. Hahn swung at a ball high in the zone, and now the count's 3-2. Anderson with the delivery, ball down in the dirt, and Hahn does indeed work that leadoff walk. And the Cougars have the leadoff guy for the second inning in a row. Looks like coach from Marion Center is coming out, and they're going to make a pitching change. Anderson's going to exit the mound. Looks like they're bringing in number 50. Looks like Jackson Davis is going to come in and So Jackson Davis, number 50, is going to come in for the Stingers. It's look like he's going to pitch. And it looks like Anderson's going to stay in the game. I'm not sure where he's going to go. Anderson's going to go to second. So Davis is going in for Blake Gadsky, second baseman for the Stingers. He'll exit. And the pitcher, Anderson, is going to just move to second base and remain in the game. So Jackson Davis, new pitcher for Marion Center. And he'll enter the game bottom of the third with nobody out. One guy on for the Cougars. Leadoff man Tyler Hahn worked the walk. That's going to bring up second baseman Cy Zufall. Zufall grounded out to shortstop Troy Slavinsky in his first time up. Slavinsky showed off a strong arm, getting it across the diamond just to get Zufall in time. Zufall starts this at bat. The ball down in the dirt. He's ahead in the count 1-0. Another ball down. That brings the count to 2-0. Davis checks the runner at first. Hahn delivers a pitch inside, and now it's 3-0. Stinger pitchers are having a hard time finding a strike zone here to start the third inning. And Davis delivers. Strike right at the knees. Now counts 3-1. Zufall looking to advance the runner, Hahn. Hahn, big secondary lead, and there's a sharp single straight up the middle. Hahn's going to round second and cruise into third easily. And the Cougars are cooking with men on the corners with nobody out. And big boy, Owen Sinclair, third baseman for the Cougars, Coming up the bat. Sinclair ripped a big double into the left center gap first time up. Let's see if he can stay hot and bring home a run or two for the Cougars. Hahn at third, Zufall at second. First two batters of the innings for the Cougars are on base. And Sinclair looking to get the Cougars back into this game. Pitch outside past the catcher, and Hahn's going to scamper home easily for the Cougars' first run of the game. Zufall advances to second, so there's still going to be a runner in scoring position for the Cougars. And Sinclair is ahead in the count 1-0. Sinclair looks locked in. Pitch from Davis. Low and outside. 2-0 on the count. I think they might try to work around old Mr. Sinclair here. Base open at first. This might be a unintentional intentional. There's a high fly ball to right field. Right fielder Rising's under it. Makes the catch for the first out. But it's deep enough for Zufall to tag and advance to third base. Sinclair put a good ride on it. Just a little too much under it. Let the right fielder Rising get underneath that ball for the first out of the inning. But the Cougars got a man 90 feet away with less than 2 out. And cleanup hitter, shortstop fielding Strauss now at the plate. Davis delivers. Strauss, high pop up. And Slavinsky's going to be under it for the second out of the inning. Strauss might have been a little anxious there, swinging at that first pitch. Zufall remains at third. Center fielder Brandon Abreu now at the plate for the Cougars. 2 out. Man at third. 3-1. Cougars are trailing here in the bottom of the third. And Abreu takes a breaking ball right on the inside corner for strike one. It's 0-1 on the count. Davis checks his signs. Comes set. Somebody called time. Abreu looks down to Coach Zufall at third, gets his signs. Cy Zufall with a big lead here at third, and there's a breaking ball, bottom of the zone. And now it's 0-2 on the count. Cougars not happy with that call. 0-2, 2 down. Abreu. Ground ball to second baseman. Anderson can't handle it cleanly, and it goes under his glove into right field. And Abreu is able to get on base, and Zufall scores for the second run of the inning for the Cougars, and it's now 3-2. Cougars are right back into this game. Wade Collins, first baseman, now batting for the Cougars. And they're right back in it, only down one. Abreu dives back in with a throw over from Davis. Rial applied the tag, but Abreu was back safely. Big lead over there, and he's running. He's in easily. Haggerty, nice throw, strong throw, but he had that on the jump. Abreu had a big lead, got a big jump, clean jump, and he beat that throw easily for a stolen base, and it gives the Cougars another runner in scoring position. 0-1 on the count. Ball down to Collins, and now it's 1-1. See if Collins can come through and get this third run of the inning in for the Cougars. Abreu, big lead. Collins swings at a breaking ball in the dirt, and it's now 1-2. 1-2-1 Collins, 2 out. Bottom of the third. Cougars trying to scratch his third run across. And there's strike 3. Nice breaking ball by Davis to get Collins looking for the third out of the inning, but not before the Cougars were able to scratch 2 across. Get back into this game. It's now 3-2. Cougars trailing by a run heading into the 4th inning. And we'll be back right after this short break. So here we are for the beginning of the 4th inning at John D. Andrini Field at Kiski. Cougars trailing 3-2 to Marion Center. Ben Dunkelberger will continue on pitching for the Cougars. And up to bat number now for the Stingers is number 10, Cole Anderson. Anderson started pitching for the Stingers. Now he's at second base. Dunkelberger starts him with a slow breaking ball on the outside corner for strike 1. Anderson steps back into the box. Dunkelberger's going to work from the windup. There's the delivery. Breaking ball short of the plate. And that evens the count 1-1. Dunkelberger throws. Swing, line drive, soft line drive right at shortstop fielding Strauss. Takes a couple steps in, makes an easy catch for the first out of the inning. We'll bring up number 17, DH Mike Gadsky for the Stingers. Dunkelberger starts him out with another strike, and he has been consistent with leading, or getting ahead in the count, I should say, with strike 1. There's Dunkelberger. Another soft ground ball. Zufall's going to not. The Cougars just can't make a play on it. Easy ground ball under the glove of Dunkelberger. Zufall charging hard, couldn't scoop it. And Gatsky reaches base on a ball that went about 60 feet. Brings up Jackson Davis. He came in to pitch in the bottom of the third for the Stingers, and he replaced Blake Gadsky in the batting order, and he takes ball 1. So Mike Gadsky at first base, Dunkelberger low, and now it's 2-0. One of the few hitters that Dunkelberger has really fell behind on. 2-0 on the count. Dunkelberger from the stretch. Gadsky, modest lead over there. Nothing really all that serious, but 3-0 on the count now.
Davis is probably just standing there waiting for a strike. He's definitely going to be taken here. And the ball is high. That's a 4-pitch walk. That'll bring up number 9 hitter for the Stingers, Ethan Wells. Looks like we're going to have pinch runner. So number 44, Clark McGee, is going to pinch run for Mike Gatsky at second base. And the Stingers have guys on first and second with only one out. Ethan Wells up to the bat. He reached base last time up. There's a foul bunt attempt by Wells, and the count is 0-1. So Stingers were trying a little sacrifice there to get two runners in scoring position. Let's see if they still have the bunt on. Looks like it was waved off, but you never know. Dunkelberger delivers, and there's a pop-up. That's in no man's land, but Parker Hanna makes a nice run, and he ran in quite a while to get that. Nice job by Parker Hanna to get to that ball and make the second out of the inning for the Cougars. That brings up the dangerous Troy Slavinsky. Hard line drive out his first time up to Logan Gates in center. And the last time up, he hit a bomb to center field. Luckily for us here in Cougar Land, we don't have a fence because that was a home run pretty much anywhere. But here it was only a triple. But it was still good for all three Stinger runs. And there's another drive to center field, but it looks like Abreu's got it. No, he drops it, and that's an error, and that's going to bring home another run for the Stingers, and the Cougars continue to make self-inflicted wounds. That was an inning-ending out if we hang on to it out there. Popped out of the glove of Abreu. Slavinsky hustles into second on that error. Davis trots around to third. And the runner, McKee, comes in to score from second base. So now 4-2 Cougars, and Coach Ross is going to take a timeout. Last time the Stingers scored their runs, it was an error that kind of loaded the bases when Wells hit the ball to second base and we couldn't make it out. It's 4-2 Stingers. Top of the fourth inning, 2 out. Center fielder Drew Runk up to bat. Runk, the hitter for the Stingers, and they got guys at second and third with 2 out. Dunkelberger working from the stretch. Ball inside on Runk, and the count's 1-0. Looks like the Cougars are getting somebody warming up in their bullpen over there. Dunkelberger delivers, ball down. And it's now 2-0. Runk, center fielder for the Stingers, number 2 hitter. Dunkelberger looks like he might be nearing the end of his outing. He delivers. Ball right at the top of the zone. A called strike, and it's now 2-1. Coach Ross going over to check on the pitcher warming up to see if he's ready.
couple more warm-ups. Dunkelberger gets the sign from catcher Hahn. Comes set. Checks the runner at second. Slavinsky, he was back easily. I think that might have just been buying time for the pitcher to continue his warm-ups. Dunkelberger delivers. Swung through by Runk. Way out in front of that slow breaking ball. And the count's now even at 2. 2-2, 2 outs. Stingers are head 4-2 with 2 men in scoring position for Runk. There's another breaking ball. Low and outside. And now it's a full count. Dunkelberger delivers. Ball inside. And Runk will work a 2-out walk to load the bases for the Stingers. And that'll bring up third baseman, number 19, Trent Slavinsky. Slavinsky, he had a single his last time up. Got a big, there's a line drive. Fair. Question whether it's fair or foul. And the umpires don't look like they saw that. If it hits any part of that line, it's fair. So there's a question whether that was fair or foul. It looked, I don't know. Just being honest, from here it looked fair, but I got a bad angle. I can barely see even where it landed, but so we're having a little timeout here. If it was fair, it'll be a 2-run double from Slavinsky. If it wasn't, it's just going to be a foul ball. Not sure what they're going to decide. I don't know how they can overturn it. I mean, he clearly, when it was hit, the home plate ump went like this, pointing to fair territory. Yeah, they would never call fair. You only call it if it's foul. If it's fair, you don't say anything. I'm thinking he didn't see it. I think they're gonna put it. They're gonna put the runners back. Well, I can't believe they're doing that. So they're gonna put the runners back. Shouldn't it? Yeah. So bases are still going to be loaded. Did you mark that as a? Okay. So. Okay. So third baseman from the third base coach of the Stingers, our good friend Gino Colella, who used to coach and teach here at Kiski, said it was definitely a foul ball. So the right call was made. And there's a pop-up on the infield. Strauss looks like he's under it, and he is, and that makes the third out of the inning. So the Cougars are able to avoid any further damage. And looks like a Stinger is limping pretty hard over there, and that looks like 18, Troy Slavinsky. And that would be a huge blow to the Stingers. Oh, man, I hope he's all right. So Dunkelberger is able to work out of a base it loaded jam and get the pop-up to end the inning. But the Stingers were able to get 1 run on the board in the top of the 4th and now lead 4-2. And the Cougars coming up the bat in the bottom of the 4th right after this short break. Back here at John D. Andrini Field, Cougars coming up the bat in the bottom of the fourth inning, trailing 4-2 to Marion Center Stingers. Due up for the Cougars will be right fielder Parker Hanna, left fielder Logan Gates, and pitcher Ben Dunkelberger. Cougars have been kind of hurt by a couple errors that have extended the innings for the Stingers, and the Stingers have made them pay with 4 unearned runs. So Hanna steps in the bat. Jackson Davis came into relief last inning, and he'll continue on for the Stingers, and he delivers a strike for first pitch of the at-bat, and it's 0-1. Hanna was on base being hit by a pitch his last time at, and now he takes ball high, and it's 1-1. Soft ground ball back to pitcher Davis, and he gets it over to the first baseman Riha, and that's first out of the inning. That'll bring up left fielder number 3, Logan Gates. Gates was hit by a pitch his last time up. Left-handed hitter watches ball high, and it's 1-0. Davis is also working from the stretch with nobody on. Foul tip. Catches a piece of the Haggerty right where you don't want it to catch a piece of you. He's going to shake it off, and the umpire is going to walk ball out to the pitcher, give him a little bit of a breather. Count's going to be 1-1 with 1 out. You always do that as an umpire. When your catcher gets hit like that, you walk the ball out, give him some time. Yeah, you always do that. Yeah, yep, yep. I always do that. You got to take care of them catchers because figure he's in front of you, you know. So he's protecting you. So if he gets hit, you give him a little extra time. So ball high on Gates, and it's now 2-1. Davis delivers ground ball right at the second baseman Anderson, and he gets it over to Real in time for the second out. Gates did a nice job of hustling down the line to make it close. But that's the second out of the inning, and that'll bring up number 17, Ben Dunkelberger. Dunkelberger's thrown 4 innings for the Cougars. Hasn't given up an earned run. He's kind of bit by a couple errors that hurt him. Swings through a fastball, and it's strike 1 to start the at-bat. Davis gets his signs, and there's the delivery. Looked like it hit him in the box. Did it not? Didn't he foul that off his foot or ankle? Either way, it's foul ball, and that's it rolled foul anyway, so it wouldn't matter. But it's 0-2 on the count. And he gets a piece of that to stay alive. That was going to be a strike, and he caught it. That ball was almost in the catcher's glove when he finally did get a piece of it. Good job by Dunkelberger there to avoid being rung up on a called strike. 0-2 on the count. There's another little squirt line drive over first base coach Hahn's head. The count will remain 0-2. Dunkelberger fought off 2 pitches in a row to remain at bat. Davis delivers. Breaking ball, line, little soft ground ball liner to the first baseman, Rial. He runs over for an unassisted put out. And that'll put the Cougars down in order. And
And the Stingers will be up to bat to start the fifth inning with a 4-2 lead. And we'll be back right after this short break. So welcome back to John D. Andrini Field. Getting ready for the top of the fifth inning. New pitcher on the mound for the Cougars, number 15, Justin Urban. Looks like he's just going to straight up replace Dunkelberger in the order. Dunkelberger did an admirable job on the mound tonight. Did give up some runs, but all unearned. Was bit by a couple errors, but he's going to be relieved by number 15, Justin Urban. Urban is a local product. His brother Hunter is also on the team. Justin works at the local eatery downtown, Point Street Tavern. He makes up all kinds of good sandwiches and stuff. He says he makes everything with love, Mrs. Kinderman. That's what he says every time he says he. And that's not him saying that. That was the owner of the Point Street told me that Justin says he makes everything with love. That's what he said. So he's going to come on to pitch here in the top of the fifth for the Cougars, and we'll see what Justin brings to the table. Looks like he has a little bit more speed on his pitches than Ben did. Ben did a nice job with the off-speed pitch tonight. He worked ahead in the count a lot. Had a nice breaking ball he was displaying there. Again, he just got hurt by some errors. So up the bat for the Stingers, number 12, right fielder Cam Rising. Rising has been on base one time for the Stingers. Urban starts him. Must have been outside. Looked a nice height there, but must have just been a little outside. And it's 1-0 on the count. Now it's 1-1. Foul ball by Rising. So Urban working from the windup, gets his sign from catcher Hahn, and there's the pitch. Nice, solid ground ball up the middle by Rising. And the Stingers will have the leadoff man on. It's the second time today that Rising has been on base. I believe the last time he was on base, he hit a ground ball between short and third. Haggerty had a single his first time up between first baseman and second baseman. Last time he grounded into a fielder's choice. And yes, Mrs. Kinderman, I'm recalling that all by memory. I don't have any notes in front of me, folks. This is all just me remembering what happened. I am cursed with a memory like that. Strike by Urban, and now it's 1-1. I have a memory like that, but I can't remember where I put my keys, my wallet, and my phone every morning, and 3 other times throughout the day. Ball low, and it's now 2-1 on Haggerty. Haggerty's had a pretty nice day. He threw out a runner attempting to steal back in the second inning. Had a single in the second inning also. High pop up on the infield. Looks like Strauss is calling for it. Third baseman Sinclair let him have it, and that's the first out of the inning. And that'll bring up number 10, Cole Anderson. Anderson's now playing second base. He started the game pitching for the Stingers. And Rising is still at first base. Ball high. Counts 1-0. Still very impressed with Justin Urban's transformation in his body. From the time he was a freshman until now, he's made quite a progress. Hey, Mr. E. 2-0 on the count. Let's see if Urban can get back into this and throw a strike here. And Anderson liked that pitch, and he swung and fouled it back to the screen. And it's 2-1. This field is nice with the lights on. That's pretty, huh? Grass is looking sharp out there. The lines. It's nice evening. Probably about 65, 70 degrees. There's a throw by Hahn. Ooh, and Rising had a good jump and showed some good speed because that throw from Hahn was right on the money. But Rising was able to beat it out and get the stolen base and put a runner in scoring position for the Stingers. And Anderson has the count 2-2. And there's a fly ball high out into the outfield, and that's in no man's land, and it's going to land for a single. Nobody was able to get to that. And Anderson bloops a single into no man's land. Abreu thought it was going to be hit deeper than what it was. He actually took a step back to start. By the time he reacted to it, he couldn't get there. And now the Stingers have runners on the corners with number 25. This is a new batter here. Who's number 25? Number 25, Liam Roach, now pinch hitting for Gadsky, who was pinch ran for by McKee last time up. So now Liam Roach up the bat for the Stingers, and that's in the DH slot. So Roach fouls a pitch down the right field line, and now it's 0-2. Stingers threatening again. Runners on the corner, 0-2 with one out here in the top of the fifth. Leading by 2 against the Cougars, 4-2. And Urban delivers the pitch high, and Cole Anderson gets the second. No throw down by the catcher. They just let him have it, and it puts 2 in scoring position for the Stingers with only one out. 1-2 on the count. To pinch hitter Roach. Ball low. Now the count's even at 2-2. So Roach works himself back into the count, evened up 2-2 after being down 0-2 early. And Urban
Works from the stretch. Delivers inside. And it's 3-2. So Roach works the count full. Pinch hitter Roach. Ball high. And now the bases are loaded. Bases loaded for the Stingers. And they're threatening to score some more here in the top of the fifth. Already up 4-2. And Jackson Davis, relief pitcher, who came in the bottom of the third, now steps to the plate. He worked a 4-pitch walk his last time up, and he still hasn't seen a strike. 1-0 on the count. It's going to be a timeout. Coach Zufall is going to come out and talk to Urban on the mound. So the Stingers threatening here. Bases loaded. 1 out in the top of the fifth. Urban struggled to throw strikes here the past couple batters. The Stingers have just taken advantage of Cougar miscues to build this 4-2 lead. It's just not been a real sharp game overall for the Cougars. We still got 3 times at bat, so it's never over. Urban's going to work from the stretch. Ball high on Davis, and it's now 2-0. Urban's just struggling to find it right now. Hopefully we can get in the strike zone here. That ball's way high, and it's 3-0 on the hitter Davis. Davis looks probably like he's going to be taken, and Urban delivers a strike right at the knees, and it's 3-1. I wouldn't be surprised if Davis is taken again. And he is swinging. Swung at one at the knees, and now it's a full count. I can't believe they had let him swing on that. Urban was struggling to throw strikes. I would have let him. I would have made him take another one. You know, I would have made him take another one. But so full count on Davis. Urban's looking to get the signs from Hahn. There's the delivery, and that ball's low. Looked at about the same level as the other pitch that he swung at. And that's a bases loaded walk, and it brings home another run for the Stingers. And it's now 5-2. And it looks like they're going to make a pitching change. It looks like Dunkelberger's coming back in. And that is legal. You are allowed to do that. Well, Dunkelberger's just coming back in the game, but he would be a lot like if he was. So if Dunkelberger was in the game and he pitched, and then they put him out in right field, he could still come back in the pitch. So Fielding Strauss is going to come in to pitch. Dunkelberger goes back into the game for Urban, and Dunkelberger will go to right field. Looks like Parker Hanna's going to go from right field to second base. Second baseman Zufall is going to go to shortstop. And the shortstop Strauss is going to come in to pitch. A lot of changes there by the Cougars. Let's see if Strauss can come in and get him out of this jam. It's still going to be bases loaded with 1 out. In the top of the fifth.
Cougars are down 3 runs. Who's number 11? Okay, so number 11, Noah McCoy is going to pinch hit now. So Noah McCoy is going to pinch hit for Ethan Wells, who is in left field. So McCoy will bat for Wells. Bases loaded, 1 out. 5-2 Stingers leading, and they still have bases loaded. So Strauss looking to come in and put this fire out. Big lead by Anderson over here at third. Ball down, and it's 1-0. Strauss from the windup delivers a ball high, and it's 2-0. 2-0 on the count to pinch hitter McCoy. Strauss will deliver. Ball outside. Strauss has come in and struggled to find a zone. And it's 3-0. There's the pitch. Strike. Anderson dove back into third. Hahn tried to throw down and get him. He got back in time, but it was close. And it's now 3-1 on McCoy with 1 out. McCoy swings through a fastball. Nice pitch by Strauss to get the count to full. And it's full count with 1 out. Strauss delivers inside and low. McCoy, another bases loaded walk, second in a row. And it's another bases loaded walk for the Stingers. Second run of the inning. And it's 6-2 Marion Center. Not sure what the time out is for here. Something from the bleachers, something in the stands. I think the umpire didn't like something that he saw up there. I'm not real sure. Well, he was pointing into the stands, so I'm not sure exactly what was happening. Not sure what it was about. So 18, Troy Slavinsky up to bat. He has been trouble for the Cougars today. He had a bases clearing triple early in the game, and he's going to take ball high. So 1-0 on the count. Strauss delivers. Strike. 1-1. Slavinsky had to take one all the way there. He's going to make Strauss throw some strikes here. Dangerous hitter at the plate for the Stingers. Ooh, takes another strike right at the top of the zone on the outside corner. And Strauss gets ahead 1-2. There's a breaking ball in the dirt. And it's 2-2. Tried to get Slavinsky to chase a slow breaker. Slavinsky didn't want anything to do with it. And it's 2-2. It's a dangerous hitter here.
Strauss delivers. Ground ball. And it looks like Zufall can cut it off, but there's no play to be made as all his momentum was taken away from first base and second base. Third baseman Sinclair tried to get the ball. It did get past him, and he was not able, no way he would have been able to get back to third. And again, unfortunate situation for the Cougars. And the Stingers bring home another run, and it's now 7-2. Drew Runk up the bat for the Stingers now. He takes ball low, and it's 1-0. 7-2 Stingers leading here in the fifth inning, and he takes another ball, and it's 2-0 on the count. Drew Runk, center fielder for the Stingers, takes a strike down the middle, and now it's 2-1. Ball high. Now it's 3-1, bases loaded. We got number 3 in the game as third base, pinch runner. Who's number 3? So Troy Lewis was the pinch runner at third, and he comes in to score on the bases loaded walk to Runk. And the Stingers have put their 4th run of the inning on the board, and they're really starting to widen the gap here at 8-2. Trent Slavinsky up the bat for the Stingers. 3-hole hitter for the Stingers. He's had a couple nice hits so far today. He fouls one back to the screen, and the count is now 1-1. Bases still loaded. 1 out. Cougars have been stuck in this situation for a while now. Trent Slavinsky at the plate. High breaking ball, and it's 2-1. 3 runs on bases loaded walks, and 1 run on an infield single. There, Slavinsky swings through a fastball, and the count's now in 2-2. Strauss going to go from the windup with the bases loaded. There's the pitch. High breaking ball, and it hits Slavinsky on the shoulder, and that's going to bring home another run. That's 4 runs without even putting the ball in play. 3 bases loaded walks and a hit batsman with the bases loaded, and an infield single, and the Stingers have strung together 5 runs. Ball down to Rising, who started this inning with a single up the middle. And he takes high and away, and it's 2-0. Still only 1 out here in the top of the 5th. 3-0, and the Cougar pitchers just can't find the zone right now. Fielding Strauss down 3-0 in the count. Cam Rising, right fielder for the Stingers. And there's a strike, and it's 3-1. There's a ball. And there's another bases loaded walk. And the Cougars are going to make another pitching change. So it looks like third baseman Owen Sinclair is now going to come in to pitch for the Cougars. And
Strauss is going to go over to third base. And the Stingers have 6 runs in the inning and have really built a big lead here. So see what other changes the Cougars are going to make. Looks like actually Strauss is going to go back to shortstop. Oh, maybe not. Doesn't look like. So Sinclair is not going to come into pitch. Sinclair is going to stay at third base. It looks like, I don't know who's coming into pitch. Strauss is out. He's going to go back to shortstop. Sinclair is going to stay at third base. Dunkelberger's going to go to catch. It looks like Tyler Hahn is going to come in to pitch. And Zufall is going to go back to second base. I believe that's what all's happening. Cougars are going to run out of pitching here. Cougars have a lot of games this week. Game scheduled tomorrow, 4 p.m. here at Kiski against Obama Academy. Game on Friday, also 4 p.m. game, I believe, against West Shamokin. And the Cougars will have a 7 p.m. Saturday night game at Homer Center. So 3 opponents this week are Heritage Conference teams from Indiana County. And the other one is a school from down in Pittsburgh. Going to have Brady Haggerty will be up to bat for the Stingers once Hahn's completed his warm-up pitches. Haggerty's had a nice game so far today. So we've had quite the delay here with all the position changes. Hahn had to get out of the catcher's gear, get out there to warm up, and Dunkelberger came in from right field, and he put in on the catcher's gear. And Hahn's completing his last warm-ups here. Yeah. So it was just all position changes, nothing. Dunkelberger's in at catcher. And Hannah goes back out to right field. So Hahn starts Haggerty off with a swinging strike. The count's 0-1. Haggerty, catcher for the Stinger, digs into the left-handed side of the batter's box. He fouls one back to the screen, and it's 0-2. Base is still loaded for the Stingers.
Still one out. I think I've been saying that for the past 20 minutes. Cougars have just been struggling to find the zone here. A lot of bases loaded walks, one hit batsman with the bases loaded, and an infield single, and that's how they got 6 runs. And there's a strike 3 call. Nice pitch by Hahn, and he comes in and gets 3 straight strikes to get the second out of the inning. And now brings up second baseman Cole Anderson. Anderson started the game for the Stingers on the mound. Takes ball low. Number 13, Drew Runk at third. Number 19. Oh, there's a strike. That's actually is that 19 out there at second? I think they brought in, is that 19 still? There's a ball, gets past the catcher, and Runk's going to scamper home for the 11th run of the evening for the Stingers. And it counts 2-1. Trent Slavinsky advances to third. And Cam Rising now at second. Anderson takes ball down, and it's 3-1. Runners at second and third, 2 out, 3-1 count, and the Stingers up 7. There's a ball outside and another walk. And the Stingers have just been patient at the plate and making the Cougars throw strikes. And the Cougars haven't been doing such a good job at throwing strikes. 25, Liam Roach up for his second at-bat of the inning. And he takes a strike for, it's 0-1. Ball down. And it's 1-1. See if Hahn can get this last out and get the Cougars up to bat. Ball outside. And it's 2-1. Hahn winds and delivers. Swung through by Roach. And it's now 2-2. 2 out. 5th inning, and the Stingers have tacked on 7. There's strike 3 at the knees. And the Cougars finally get out of it. But not before the Stingers push across 7 runs in the inning, bringing 10, 11 people to the plate. No, 10, 11, 12, 13 people to the plate in that inning. Left the bases loaded, but they had 7 runs in and now lead 11-2. And the Cougars will be up to bat in the bottom of the 5th right after this short break. So welcome back to John D. Andrini Field. Cougars coming to bat in the bottom of the 7th, and they got a lot of work to do. Trailing by 9, 11-2. Bottom of the 5th.
So Jackson Davis will continue on the mound for the Stingers. Davis came in the bottom of the third. Leadoff man for the Cougars this inning will be Tyler Hahn, top of the lineup, coming up the bat for the Cougars. And let's see if they can get a little something going. Tyler Hahn started the game catching, now he's pitching. Takes ball high. It's 1-0. Hahn worked a walk his last time up, came around to score the Cougars' first run. And takes a ball high, little chin music there. And it's 2-0 on the count. Davis works from the stretch, delivers. Hahn swings at one high in the zone. Looked like that might have been ball three, but Cougars need some runs and runners, so let's see what they can do to get back into the game. And it's 2-1. 2-1, I should say, on the count to Hahn. Haggerty fixing his mask behind the plate. And Davis is going to get set. There's the delivery behind Hahn. And it's 3-1. So 3-1 on the count to Hahn, leadoff man for the Cougars here in the top of the fifth. There's a drive, and he got the right fielder beat, and that's going to go into the woods for a ground rule double. And Hahn, solid hit to right field. And gets the Cougars started here in the bottom of the fifth. Uh, and that's going to maybe bring an end to the night for Jackson Davis. And it will. That will bring an end to the night for Jackson Davis. Did a nice job in relief of Anderson. Came in the bottom of the third. Gave two solid innings of pitching. Didn't get an out here in the fifth. But he came in with no outs in the third. So pretty much worked one time around the order. And now they're going to bring in number 19, Trent Slavinsky, to relieve Davis. Looks like Davis is going to stay in the game and just move to third base. Trent Slavinsky is going to go from third, and he's going to take the mound and see if he can get Trent Slavinsky. So Hahn's going to be at second, and Zufall will be up to bat for the Cougars. Once again, this is the top of the lineup for the Cougars. Hahn. And then it'll be Zufall. And then Sinclair will be up after that. So, guy on second for the Cougars. Nobody out. Zufall up. He'll be followed by Sinclair and Strauss. Let's see if the Cougars can get back into this game. Trailing by 9 in the bottom of the fifth. Slavinsky's done with his warm-ups. Zufall digs into the box with Hahn at second, holding him close. Slavinsky gets his signs from catcher Haggerty, comes set and delivers. Ball low, and it's 1-0 on the count. Here's the pitch. High pop up behind the screen.
out of play, and it's 1-1 on the count. Zufall looked like he liked that one. Looked maybe a little bit high above the zone, but Zufall attacked it, just fouled it out of play. 1-1 on the count. No out here in the bottom of the fifth. Slavinsky delivers. Strike. And it's 1-2. Zufall gets back into the box. 1-2 on the count. Here's the pitch from Slavinsky. Ground ball up the middle, and nice play by Troy Slavinsky. Nice diving stop by Troy Slavinsky. Gets up quickly and fires the first baseman, Rehal. And that'll retire Zufall for the first out of the inning. Does advance Hahn to third base. It gives the runner 90 feet from home with less than 2 out for the Cougars. And a big man, Owen Sinclair, third baseman for the Cougars, coming to the plate. Haggerty went out and talked to Slavinsky. Might have been telling him to be wary of Mr. Sinclair. He's put a charge into a ball early in the game, hitting the left center gap for an easy double, and that ball is going to be high over his head for ball one. Last time up, Sinclair hit a high fly ball to right fielder for a sac fly to bring in the Cougars' first run of the day. There's a strike. And now it's 1-1. Sinclair swings, fouls it high out of play behind the backstop. And the count is 1-2. Sinclair digs in. Slavinsky from the windup. He delivers. Gets Sinclair on a breaking ball way out in front. And that's a big out for Slavinsky there as he takes care of Sinclair on a slow breaking ball. And it's 2 out now with fielding Strauss. You can't play that while they're up the bat. Well, I don't know what that was, ball or strike. I think it was, I don't know. I thought he swung at it. I'm not sure. That's ball high. I'm not sure what the count is. I think it's 2-0. This is definitely the third pitch of the count. That's 3-0 now. 3-0 on the count to Strauss. Pitch from Slavinsky. Catches the top of the zone for a strike, and it's now 3-1. Runner still 90 feet away in Hahn. There's the pitch from Slavinsky, and he pumps another one in the zone. He works back from a 3-0 count to get it to full. 2 out. Strauss at the plate for the Cougars. There's the pitch from Slavinsky. Fouled down the right field line, way out of play. And it's going to be full count still on Strauss. So here's Strauss, full count. Slavinsky delivers, and it's high for ball 4. And the Cougars will have runners at the corners with 2 out here in the top of the 5th. Brandon Abreu now coming to bat for Kiski. Abreu, center fielder for the Cougars. He's a senior. Has Brandon been here for 4 years?
I thought so. So Brandon, 4-year guy for Kiski, center fielder. See if he can get a hit and get us a run in here. Runners at the corner. Strauss, check on him over at first. He beats it back. Doesn't slide, but that throw almost got him. That was a lot closer than he thought it was going to be. Throw kind of led the mitt right into his shoulder, you know. And here's the pitch from Slavinsky. Ball high on Abreu. It counts 1-0. Hahn at third. Strauss at first. Abreu at the plate for the Cougars. 1-0 pitch. Slavinsky. So Strauss with the steal. Haggerty strong throw, and I don't know if Strauss wants to get dirty tonight because he didn't slide there either, and it was a lot closer than it needed to be. I guess so. There's a strike at the knees, and it's now 2-1 on Abreu. Here's another pitch down the middle. Abreu is locked up on that one. Lets it go by for a called strike, and it's 2-2. 2 outs, bottom of the fifth. Pitched by Slavinsky. Ground ball to the shortstop, Troy Slavinsky. He gets it over to Rayu at first, and that's the end of the fifth. And that's the end of the fifth with the score: Marion Center 11, Kiski 2. With the Stingers coming up the bat for the top of the sixth right after this short break. So welcome back here to John D. Andrini Field, and Hahn continues on the mound for the Cougars, and he starts. Oh, Jackson Davis, where was that? It looked like strike, but I think he called it a ball. So 1-0 on the count. Another ball down. It's 2-0. Jackson Davis has worked 2 walks since being in the game, and there's a strike from Hahn. 2-1 on the count. Sixth inning, Stingers up 9, 11-2. There's another ball down. 3-1 on the count. Hahn delivers. And there's ball 4. And another walk issued by Cougar pitchers. Puts the leadoff hitter for the Stingers on here in the top of the 6th. That brings up number 11, Noah McCoy. McCoy takes strike 1 from Hahn, and it's 0-1. Davis over at first being held on by Collins, but that ball is going to get past the catcher, and it's going to go out of play. And Davis advances to second on the pass ball. Went right through the glove of catcher Dunkelberger, hit him off the mask, and then ricocheted out of play. It counts 1-1 with Hahn from the stretch, delivers ball outside, and it's 2-1. McCoy takes another ball, 3-1. Ball was in the dirt. Dunkelberger didn't handle it, got behind him, bounced off the umpire. Dunkelberg picked it up, but not before the runner Davis was able to advance the throw. It was a close play down there. Dunkelberger did throw down, but Davis was able to beat the throw and make it to third base safely. So no out. McCoy up the bat for the Stingers, and he's ahead in the count 3-1. Ball must have hit the umpire off the hand. He's working it out. And he looks like he's good to go. And Hahn, pitcher for the Cougars, will get back on the mound and work from the windup. McCoy's ahead in the count 3-1 with nobody out. The Stingers comfortably ahead 11-2, but McCoy fouls that one back over the first base dugout, out of play, and it's 3-2. Full count, nobody out. Davis at third for the Stingers. Hahn delivers. Line shot to center fielder Abreu. He takes a couple steps back, and he gets it in, but not before it was deep enough for Davis to come around to score for the Stingers' 12th run of the game. And now they are up 12-2. One out here in the top of the 6th. Leadoff hitter Troy Slavinsky. Now up for the Stingers. So McCoy was able to get the ball deep enough to score a runner from third on a sac fly. And Hahn delivers down. It's 1-0. Another ball down, gets behind past the catcher Dunkelberger, and it's 2-1. So walk to leadoff hitter Davis. Couple passed balls and a sac fly scores them. And now it's 12-2 Stingers, and a count 3-0 on leadoff hitter Troy Slavinsky. And he takes one right off the hip. Might have got him on the arm guard there. Right on the arm guard and hit him off the arm guard, protecting his elbow and tricep. And he's going to jog down to first base. And that's going to put another guy on for the Stingers. That looks like it's going to be the end of the night on the mound for Hahn.
Cougars going to go to now? So it does look like Sinclair's going to get a little pitching action in. I don't think so. So Owen Sinclair is going to take the mound for the Cougars, trying to get him out of this inning, and it's going to be 12-2. Dunkelberger's going to stay in to catch. Looks like Strauss is going to move over to third now. And it looks like Hahn's going to go from pitching to shortstop. So Troy Slavinsky hit by a pitch there. He's had a big night tonight. Big 3-run triple to start the scoring for the Stingers. He also had a been on base quite a few times. So Drew Ronk will be up to bat for the Stingers once Sinclair's done with his warm-up pitches. So here we are, continuing the top of the sixth. Sinclair for the Cougars comes in to pitch. Runk up to bat for the Stingers. And ball inside from Sinclair, and it's 1-0. Troy Slavinsky over at first for the Stingers. Runk up the bat, 1-0 on the count, 1 out here in the top of the sixth. Sinclair with a fastball, and Runk swings right through it, and it is now 1-1. Throw down to first, get Slavinsky back to the bag, but he's got a big lead. Looks like he's getting ready to take off. And Sinclair's just going to step off. Gets back on the mound. There goes Slavinsky. And he had that base stolen easily. That's 2-1 on the count as the ball was high. That's 2-1 on the count. I don't know if he's still up 10. I don't know if that's a good move. I don't really agree with that. Up 10 in the sixth inning, not not really a good thing. 3-1 on the count now. So Sinclair will come set, and he delivers the 3-1 pitch, and Runk swings through it. 3-2. Full count on Runk. 1 out, top of the sixth inning. Slavinsky, the shortstop for the Stingers, out at second base. He's got a really big lead. There's the pickoff move. And he dives back safely. Full count, 1 out, top of sixth inning.
Sinclair is going to come set. Runk at the plate. And he's going. And that's ball 4. Runk or Slavinsky steals third easily. Again, I really don't agree with that. But uh, some people don't know the unwritten rules of baseball, which is sad. So Trent Slavinsky now to the plate for the Stingers. And runners on the corner. Swings through a high fastball, top of the zone. Fouls it back to the screen. And the count is 0-1. Ball in. Counts 1-1. Sinclair comes set. 1-1 count, 1 out, top of the 6th. There's a curveball down and low outside. And it counts 2-1. Ball outside, and it's 3-1. Third baseman Slavinsky, he started out as the third baseman. He came in to pitch in the last inning. Now it's 3-1 on the count. Ball high, and that's a walk for Trent Slavinsky. And that's going to bring up right fielder number 12, Cam Rising. Bases loaded for the Stingers. 1 out. And it looks like number 3, Troy Lewis. Troy Lewis is going to go into pinch run for Slavinsky. Stingers up 10 in the 6th inning with Cam Rising now at the plate. Bases loaded. 1 out. Sinclair is going to work from the windup. There's a nice off-speed pitch for a strike. 0-1 on the count. Rising at the plate with the bases full of Stingers. Outfielders are deep in center and left. Hannah, right fielder, playing at normal depth. 1-1 on the count. There's the pitch from Sinclair. High, foul, out of play over the grandstand over there on the first base side. Brings the count to 1-2. Sinclair delivers, and it's high. 2-2 now. 2-2 on the count to Rising. And there's the pitch, and swings through it. Rising's out, can't advance with man on first. If there was 2 outs, he would have been able to advance. But with less than 2 outs, the first base occupied, you can't advance there. So 2 outs. Brady Haggerty now up to bat, catcher for the Stingers. Base is still loaded. There's the pitch from Sinclair inside with the breaking ball. And Haggerty dances his feet out of the way. And it's 1-0 on the count. Windup from Sinclair. Fouled back by Haggerty. Took a nice cut on it. Fouled it straight back to the screen. And it's 1-1. Nice breaking ball by Sinclair. And they got Slavinsky caught on a rundown. Working back to the base. Out of baseline, and they got him. Slavinsky was playing a game out here, and the Cougars caught him for the third out of the inning. And now the Cougars will need to score a run here in the bottom of the sixth to extend this game. Down 10, heading to the bottom of the sixth. And we'll be back right after this short break. So Cougars coming up the bat here in the bottom of the sixth, trailing 12-2. And it looks like Wade Collins will be leading off for the Cougars. I see number 12, Hunter Urban, over there with a batting helmet on. He must be coming in to hit for somebody. So we'll see what the Cougars do here in the bottom of the sixth. Due up is Collins, Hanna, and Gates, with Dunkelberger to follow if anybody gets on base. But it looks like a bunch of pinch hitters are going to be coming in. Hunter Urban over there has a bat, and I don't know, maybe number 1, John Williams, is going to get into the game. He has a helmet on with a bat in his hand. Trent Slavinsky remains in the game for the Stingers. Came in relief at the bottom of the fifth and got 3 outs. Stinger's third pitcher of the day. Cole Anderson went 2 innings. Jackson Davis went 2 innings. And Slavinsky has an inning under his belt. So number 8, Wade Collins, will be the leadoff hitter for the Cougars this inning. Collins, first baseman from State College. Second year here at Kiski. What's Wade, a junior? Oh, Wade's a senior. Okay, so Wade Collins is a senior. So Collins steps in against Slavinsky. Takes a ball inside, and it's 1-0. Slavinsky winds and delivers. Collins fouls it straight back to the screen, and now it's 1-1. Slavinsky's the first Stinger pitcher to go from the windup tonight. Gets a fastball by Collins on a swinging strike, and it's 1-2. Collins standing in the front of the box. Takes a ball low. Just missed at the bottom of the zone. Right at below the knees. And Collins gets the count to 2-2. There's a pitch. Ground ball sharply hit to second baseman Anderson. Fields it cleanly and gets it over to the first baseman Rial for the first out of the inning. And that'll bring up number 12, pinch hitter Hunter Urban. Urban's hitting for Parker Hanna, who was played right field and second base here tonight for the Cougars. And Urban swings at a ball in his eyes, and it's strike one, 0-1 on the count. Slavinsky delivers. Ball catches the inside corner right at the belt, and it's 0-2. Slavinsky winds and delivers, and that's strike three. That was definitely, I would have called that a swing too. So Urban goes down swinging, and it's 2 out here in the bottom of the sixth. Brings up number 1, John Williams. Williams. No, it hit off his helmet. So Williams gets hit on the bill of the helmet, and he gets on base. And Cougars are still alive here. So number 9 hitter for the Cougars, Ben Dunkelberger, steps to the plate with Williams standing over at first. Slavinsky is going to go from the stretch. There's the pitch to Dunkelberger. Nice strike. And it's 0-1 on the count. Dunkelberger takes and loops a foul ball over to first base coach's head. And it's 0-2. 2 outs here in the bottom of the sixth. Cougars trailing by 12. Hasn't been a pretty game on the mound by the Cougars. And John Williams took off to steal. And the ball gets by the catcher, and he's going to get in there with an easy stolen base. 1-2 on the count. Puts a runner in scoring position for the Cougars, and they need that run to extend the game. Dunkelberger down 1-2 on the count, and he swings through a fastball for strike three. And that's the third out of the inning. And that'll end this game with the final being 12-2. Marion Center travels 40 miles, and they pick up a big win against the Cougars, 12-2. Big game by Troy Slavinsky for the Stingers. Brady Haggerty also had a nice game. Cougars, Owen Sinclair with a big double in the first inning. Tyler Hahn with a double and scored a run. Zufall scored a run. But it just wasn't a very pretty game for the Cougars on the mound, issuing way too many free passes on the walks. Next game is scheduled for tomorrow at 4 p.m. If it doesn't rain, we'll be here
Hope you can join us. Have a good evening, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.